Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to episode 5 of the Believe in the Craft podcast. A little new settings. I thought I'd show my face this time on the podcast. And this podcast is all about having a vision. I think it's really important for us to discuss this, especially in this day and age whereby we could be so distracted by social media, being behind the scenes, what's going on in different countries around the world. But it's always important to have a vision for your future and to stick to that vision. So I just wanted to chop it up, about having a vision. In my opinion, having a vision always comes from the mind. A famous quote by Andrew Carnegie says, "A man who acquires the ability to take full possession of his own mind may take possession of anything else to which he is justly entitled." So I strongly believe in having a vision, and it all starts in the mind. A great book that I always talk about to people that I know is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. If you don't already have the book, I recommend that you get the book. And it all speaks about, the mind being the genesis to all things that we can create. So when we're planning our vision, when we're thinking about where we want to be in the future and how we want to achieve these dreams and how we intend to do so, it's important to have a vision and to plan ahead. One thing that I've always spoken about is journaling, the importance of journaling, being able to write things down, and in order to alchemize our thoughts into reality, to bring them into the physical manifestation. And it's all good writing your stuff in your phone and noting things down in apps, but I feel like there's a certain power to actually putting pen to paper or on a whiteboard and writing down your dreams, writing down your plans of action, and then executing. And that's what we need to be doing when we're having a vision. So wherever it is you want to be in life, wherever it is you want to be, it's so important to have a vision. And hopefully it's from the divine. I really think it's important to have a relationship with the Most High. You don't have to be religious, you don't have to go to a place of worship. But I do believe that if you have a relationship with the Most High, then it makes that vision even more clear. Your why becomes clear. So that means your purpose will become clear. So having a relationship with the Most High, whether you pray, whether you fast, you know that you're doing it for a certain purpose. And that purpose is going to transcend into your vision, into what you want to become. I also want to talk about work. Putting in the work, there's no way around it. Whatever it is you want to do in life, there's going to be challenges and obstacles along the way. And you got to be set to put in the work. There's no shortcuts, and if there are shortcuts, it's probably not going to be long-lived. So you got to think about, okay, this is my plan of action, this is my why, I've got my relationship with the Most High, now I've got to get to work. The scripture says faith without works is dead. So we got to be able to put in that work and enhance our work ethic. Don't worry about what the next man's doing. Don't worry about what someone else is partying or this person is drinking. What you want to do is make sure that you have a vision, and make sure you have the work ethic, and make sure that you're always constantly grinding, being consistent. It's all good having a great work ethic, but the dividends and the results come when you put in a great work ethic. So in having a vision, you need to have the work ethic. You need to have the relationship with the Most High. You need to be able to manifest it, your thoughts, into reality. Alchemize your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what I wanted to talk about on this podcast. How many of us really have a vision for where they want to be 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line? We live in such a fast food reality whereby everyone wants instant gratification. When it comes to stocks and shares or financial literacy, that's a long-term game, and it takes you to have a vision, a financial vision, to know, okay, I'm going to be diligent and consistent with putting X and X amount of money into this stocks and shares ISA, and eventually it's going to come into fruition. I'm going to plant that seed, and eventually it's going to blossom into a tree. So it's up to us to have that vision. And even when I talk about relationships and you're looking for a young woman to settle with, you need to have a vision for where you want that relationship to go. If if you want to be a leader, a true leader, you want to have a vision for where you want that marriage, that relationship to go, and how you can bring both minds at either, both visions together to coincide. That's the only way a family is created. That's the only way villages are created, through visions. You know, whatever it is you want to plan, your dream, you have to cultivate that. You know, you literally have to cultivate it, whatever it is that you want to achieve in life. So having a vision, I think, is so important when it comes to having our dreams. Before we can even go out there and put in the mad work and put in the grind and hustle, there needs to be a sit down for a vision. It's only with a vision. You wouldn't just jump in the gym and start working out on all the machines. That's what we did when we were just starting. Now that we're getting used to working out and grinding in the gym, we know we're going there with a vision. The same thing with an exam. You wouldn't just go into an exam and think you're going to sit it. You have to plan, you have to study, you have to prepare, you have to revise. You have to have a vision. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this podcast real quick. You know, episode 5. Episode 6 coming real soon as well. But I'm gonna have a vision for episode 6, you feel me? So make sure you tap in, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow me on Believe in the Craft on IG, where we're jumping everywhere now across platforms. But make sure you follow me on YouTube. New videos coming soon, you already know, Believe in the Craft.